Okay. Hey, good evening, everybody. This is CBS19 meteorologist Joel Robinson here with an evening update. We are currently streaming live on our CBS19 Plus streaming app, as well as YouTube and Facebook. I have our Facebook stream pulled up just behind me, so if you have any questions about the forecast, feel free to drop them below. I will be sure to answer them during this stream, and if not, I'll be sure to look into the comment section after the stream and catch up with some of the questions I may have missed. But we're going to be talking all about your Father's Day forecast. I know many of you are really curious as to what the Father's Day is going to look like, so we're going to be breaking it down. But just know we have scattered thunderstorms in the forecast. Temperatures are going to be heating up as well, and the humidity is going to be sticking around as well. So upper 90s is what the feels like temperatures are going to be feeling like through this weekend and next week. So bring on the heat, unfortunately. So flood warnings continue to be in effect through a lot of East Texas here, mainly along some of the rivers and some of the lakes there. They do go until further notice, just until some of the lake levels and river levels are a little bit below flood stage. I think we'll have a little bit of time this weekend, especially in the next week, for those levels to eventually go down. But we did get word that Lake Tyler, the boat launches, are open now, but do still remain careful out there. Just take it easy because those lake levels are still around flood stage. So definitely be careful if you're heading out, especially on Father's Day. All right, we do have rain chances for Saturday and Father's Day. We're going to be breaking down that very closely. And there's a lot of uncertainty, actually, with our Father's Day forecast as far as the rain goes. We do know that there's going to be rain to some extent, but the how much coverage, the how much amounts, it's still kind of up in the air, and as well as the timing. So there's just a lot of questions here as far as our Sunday forecast goes. We do know that the temperatures will be increasing and that the rain chances will be decreasing as we go into next week as a hotter and more quiet pattern comes around. But here we go. Here's future skycast. This is one model. There's a few models out there that are starting to kind of diverge away as far as the timing and the coverage. So there are some models that are suggesting maybe a couple of thunderstorms for your Father's Day afternoon, and some models that are predicting a ton of rain. It's really, really just kind of up in the air at this point, but I do think overall the models are agreeing on the fact that there will be rain on Father's Day to some extent. Saturday, we get in on a little bit of rain. We start out Sunday with some clouds. I think we'll have a little bit of dry time just before anything starts to pop up. But this is what we're talking about here. So this is Sunday, 4 p.m. I think this model is overdoing it a little bit. I think it's starting to overdo it a little bit. This is 4 p.m. Around this time, other pieces of data are suggesting maybe just a tad less as far as this goes. This is hugely widespread. I think this is kind of overdoing it a little bit, but we're going to continue to kind of keep this into consideration. But several other models are going a little bit less on the rainfall, and some of them are also going a little bit earlier in the day. So it's really, really tough right now. Pinpointing kind of when the rain is going to be happening on our Father's Day. But we do know that the rain, as far as this model goes, it will be out of the picture as we go into Sunday evening. So if you have any outdoor Father's Day plans, still kind of up in the air. Don't put the rain gear away, though. I will say that. Don't put the rain gear away. I think there'll be a little bit of opportunity for some dry time at some point in the day. So if you want to get out, do something with Dad, I think you'll still have the opportunity to do so. But as far as the timing of the rain and how much we're going to get is still kind of up in the air, but we'll continue to track that as we go into tomorrow as well, when the confidence kind of grows a little bit more. Following the rain is this area of high pressure off to our west. That's going to be moving into kind of close to East Texas. It will be affecting East Texas as we go into next week, but this is the driver of the weather over the next week. So that's where we are going to be seeing some temperatures in the low 90s. The humidity sticks around. It becomes a lot drier. This is pretty typical of the summertime. You get what's called a ridge of high pressure kind of in the middle of the country, and this is kind of the start of it. This is what gives us the heat. You get all this warm, hot air from the south, and that just settles right over the middle of the country and really starts to affect Texas and as we go into this week. So we're starting to get a taste of summer. We're not too far away from the first day of summer. First day of summer is June 21st. So we're not too far away. This is pretty normal for this time of year. Low temperatures overnight, low to mid 70s. Maybe some of us getting in on some middle 70s. I think maybe this is a little bit high here. I think maybe some of our southern counties will get in on maybe some middle 70s, but I don't think upper 70s is, I think it's a little bit too warm if you ask me. Overall mild evening, slightly above average as far as our low temperatures go. Overall maybe some passing clouds. Overall very quiet, not expecting any rain. Here's your 10-day forecast. So like I said, Father's Day, kind of still trying to pinpoint some of the details there. We do have another rain chance as we go into Saturday. I know I kind of skipped that on Futurecast. That was my fault there. Well, we'll go back in just a second, but scattered thunderstorms are going to be possible for Saturday as well. Sunday, same thing. Just again, trying to pinpoint when it's going to happen and how much coverage-wise. Monday, we have another chance, becomes a little bit more isolated, I would say. It's more of an isolated chance than scattered, as it says right there. I'll have to change that. As we go into Tuesday, rain chances really start to taper off. That area of high pressure that we were watching for off to the west really starts to settle in as we go into the middle of next week. We introduced maybe some isolated shower chances as we go into Thursday, but overall, by and large, next week, going to be really, really nice to be outdoors. Of course, we are talking about 90-degree weather, and then those lows, as you can see, are in the middle 70s. And one thing to point out about that is because those lows are not deep, diving down like maybe in the low 70s or even upper 60s, it's because we are dealing with very, very humid air. So it feels more like, it's going to definitely feel more like the upper 90s to even triple digits out there as we go throughout the week. So make sure if you are going outside, if you do have some outdoor plans going into next week, definitely stay cool, stay hydrated, find some shady spots. If you're working outside, limit your time and take frequent breaks. You don't want to overdo yourself. And of course, as I keep saying, stay hydrated out there. We have another chance to see maybe some isolated thunderstorms next Saturday. That is about 8 days away, so things could change there, but overall, pretty dry forecast. Let me go over here. I'm going to go over to the computer here to see if you guys have any question. Let's see. Actually, while I'm at it here, I'm going to just go ahead and go back to Saturday because I know I kind of skipped ahead there. Kind of skipped right over to Father's Day, but let's go over here. Here's Saturday. Saturday, not looking too bad, especially in the morning. Maybe some isolated pop-up showers, but maybe some sprinkles. But here's Saturday afternoon. Could potentially see some thunderstorms trying to make their way up to I-20, and then they just kind of peter out. But it's kind of weak, really. It's kind of one of those things that kind of what we saw today. See that south to north movement, likely from thunderstorms off to the south towards the Houston area. This model seems to try to resolve an outflow boundary, kind of what we saw today. This could be overdone a little bit. We'll just kind of have to see what the strength is of this outflow boundary here will be. But depending on the strength, it might not be quite as widespread. We may be just dealing with maybe an isolated thunderstorm or two in the afternoon. But here's Sunday morning. We have some rain off to the north, and this is kind of where it kind of diverges here. It looks like we did get a little bit of new data here too during this live stream. So this is going to be a little bit different. But we have a large complex of thunderstorms to the north that's kind of moving through Oklahoma. There's a severe weather risk up there. And it's really going to depend on kind of the outflow boundary of this as well. It looks like there could be a little bit of a trigger there, and as well as just some instability on its own as we go into Sunday. So, so it looks to me like depending on what happens with the storms off to the north will kind of determine what we see. It looks like it starts to weaken a little bit. It looks like it's just kind of residual from the storms that came from the north. So we'll just have to really keep an eye on that closely as we go into Father's Day. But it looks like there could be some isolated thunderstorms that are kind of residual from those thunderstorms to the north. All right, I'm going over here. Still here with the live stream here. I'm not seeing any questions. Not seeing any questions. So if you have any questions, we're going to wrap this up here since there aren't any questions. But if you do have any questions and are watching this here, I will be sure to kind of go over and answer them for you. But I'm going to continue to monitor the new data here. We're going to have a brand new future skycast for tonight on CBS19 News at 10, so we'll be sure to break that down. But let's go back right here. Overall, we are covering scattered thunderstorm chances. Starting to get some new data here for Sunday. And then, of course, a couple things that still stand are the temperatures heating up as we go into next week. Low 90s all across the board, going to be hot. And the humidity is not going to be helping much either. Upper 90s is where it's going to feel like, maybe some triple digits. But we're still kind of trying to pinpoint what's going to happen. On Father's Day, we have a brand new batch of data that we're going to be going over at on CBS19 News at 10, so be sure to join us there. I'm going to leave it here for the night, but I hope to see you on CBS19 News at 10 tonight.